tuning in to the online broadcast network, AFTERBUZZ TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads in over 150 countries, and your number one source for after-show entertainment. AFTERBUZZ TV, the destination for TV superfans. Producing aftershows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows. Interviewing celebrities and showrunners. And bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Arkham. Now, let the buzz begin!
I love it. We have different music choices every week.
Yes! There's so much to do, so much to love. We are here. We are Gotham. This is AFTERBUZZ TV, Season 1, Episode 10, Lovecraft. To the far left, Steve Kauffman.
Hi.
Joyce Ajouri.
Hi.
Monse Bolanos.
Hi.
I'm Ryan Hooks. I just thought, I've been gone a week. I should just totally curveball and spin it around.
And you did.
Welcome. We're here to talk about Gotham. So, this has been Episode 10.
Yes.
Seems like it always goes by so fast. I say that every show that I do.
I know.
It's like,
it's
10 episodes already.
crazy.
So if this was, I'm going to jump right in, by the way, if you can't tell. So a lot of seasons now are 10 episodes. Like a lot of shows get their season. If this had been a full season of a show, do we feel like we've got a overarching show so far? Or where are we at? Where are we? I want some feelings. Give me some emotions.
I think if you wanted if you wanted to end for a whole season, I think we could have done that 2 weeks ago. Like 2 weeks ago, everything it seemed
It was wrapped up neatly.
It seemed pretty wrapped up and neat, and then we had 2 more weeks.
I kind of agree because this episode kind of left me with a lot of questions about a ton of the characters. I mean, we got a lot of Bruce and Selina, and a little bit more of Alfred, but then everybody else was kind of just, kind of fell off the cliff a little bit. I didn't get what I wanted for a mid-season finale.
Yeah, I agree with both of them exactly. Although I do have a crush on Alfred after this episode, but I do feel that it was kind of a mediocre way to end the year. Aside from finding out that Gordon is now going to Arkham, that's the biggest.
It's a turn in the show.
But that's it. That was
the only
turn.
bigger than that is that Selina Kyle finally got to kiss Lil Wayne.
Lil Wayne.
Yes, which we've been playing for 2 weeks.
After she's been creepily trying to get in on that.
Yeah, she called
for
him
2
B.
weeks. And the reason I asked that is this because episode 10 of a originally predicted 16 episode season and now a 22 episode season is an odd place to break. So if this was a scheduled break originally from the first 16, that's still an odd place because that doesn't break the season in half. So episode 8 could have been a great breaking point originally from the first 16 episodes, and that's where we feel like possibly that's the reasoning. The other thing too, again, you were saying that this felt different than the last couple. I felt like the first 8 episodes were very procedural. The last 2 weeks have been very progressive, and they're following the same plot, and they're continuing the same plot from the stuff with Harvey Dent, and now with Lovecraft, and the whole Wayne murder instance. And so I feel like the show is maybe starting to take a new direction.
Yeah,
Possibly.
not so much the villain of the week kind of formula that we were kind of iffy about from the beginning. It did continue off the storyline from last one, and I appreciated that too. Yeah, it was good. I liked seeing Harvey Dent come back and Lovecraft come back ever so shortly. But
Ever so shortly.
I don't even know.
This is the third unaptly named episode after a character that was only in it for 10 minutes.
Yes,
Because we had the Selina Kyle episode, we had the Harvey Dent episode last week, and then Lovecraft this week.
That is clearly intentional.
And at this point, it's now.
It's let's introduce you and then cut you off.
That's it. Yeah, this one should have been called Alfred the Beast.
Or Alfred is coming. Hashtag Alfred.
Actually,
that was wonderful.
The hashtag Alfred is coming is out there now. More like Alfred is here.
Yeah.
Well, yes.
Alfred is clearly
Alfred Advent.
That's right. So let's actually, while we're there, let's talk about some people that watch our show, because we like
Yes.
when you guys watch our show. So thank you. Hey, J-Mo, they loved the fish last week in the episode as well, and I agree that she wasn't over the top. Was one of the comments they made, and also is who doesn't love Robin Lord Taylor as the Penguin and the creepy things that he's doing. Even last week when he wasn't really in the episode very much, still awesome and creepy.
He makes such a big impact.
Right.
Very much so. Hey, so where did it go? This one is for you, Joyce. Juliana T likes your comments about the comic book and the adage and such.
Oh, I thank
also,
you.
like you, has a crush on Edward Digma.
Oh, I love him.
All right, and then this also goes more at you because we talked about this before, but David Manson was talking about the aspects of possibly introducing the Court of Owls in the next season or so.
Yeah, that would be really cool. I can't wait for that if that's a thing. I think it is a thing, so yay.
Maybe. All right, and Drat Vanity thinks that Barbara is a minx and could ruin things. So, and this is a good thought. What is the implications with Barbara ruining things between Jim and Montoya and their progress that they're trying to make in cleaning up Gotham?
I knew it would definitely get in the way.
And we saw it after last week they were together, just for a brief minute. I know. Tell me how you really feel, Monse. But like, could that potentially down the road cause problems with GCPD and the relationship that they have?
Was there a little clip? I might be wrong, but I thought we saw a clip in like a Next on Gotham where Montoya and Gordon sort of had a little tiff. And I think it may have been about that. Or was it Gordon and Barbara? I don't even remember, but I swear I could have seen a small clip of them actually getting into something.
Lies.
I could be wrong.
Then they could exist. I'm sure they'll eventually get into it. Like, Gordon took this whole Arkham thing very calmly, very easily. That I think it's just leading up to the Barbara thing is what's gonna kill him.
Yeah, he's holding it all in.
Yeah,
he's gonna explode when it comes to Barbara.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
I hope so. As long as Barbara comes back, that's all I care about.
I mean, as it should. She's supposed to be the
Ryan's the only one that feels like that.
Actually, here's a better thought. Why don't they write her off the show altogether? And then she'll have nothing to do but come into AfterBuzz and be a guest.
And sit right here next to
Perfect.
Ryan. Because Ryan will just push me.
I'll sit on the couch with her. Oh, wow. It'll be a one-on-one interview on the couch.
Just the three of us. Just the three of us watching.
Just us, just over here. Just like,
hey, guys.
Don't mind us. All right. And one last comment for IDK, my BFF Jill 730. Sorry, you're stuck with me. If you read it, you'll know what I'm talking about. If you didn't, too bad. All right. So should we assume that this week that our villain of the week that was there is Copperhead? Is that what the consensus is?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
That's who they're trying to portray?
Among the internet.
Among the internet gossip, the killer this week is supposedly Copperhead.
Yeah.
Which, as you pointed out, Monse, when we watched the episode, and I hated and you loved in the very end scene when she climbs over the stairs and has Bruce at gunpoint and they play the rattling sound like to implicate a snake.
Why didn't you like that?
Because it's a cop-out.
But like Joyce was saying, if you don't know, she's not the typical Copperhead, which is supposed to be a male, and it's supposed to be suffocating people with the tail of
with a costume.
With a costume in a snake. So that's why they did that, which I thought was very clever and very subtle.
If you
know the universe.
Right.
But if you don't know, that's not enough to tell you.
Okay, so maybe that was the point. It was just like a subtle. You can't get mad. You can't hate it. It was subtle. It wasn't like Harvey Dent flipping the coin. It was very subtle.
And that's weird to me because they've done that for every other villain. They've been very direct with the fact that Edward Nygma's like, "Hey, I got a riddle for you," and Harvey Dent's flipping the coin.
Well, I also know
the Penguin. You're like, you walk funny.
All I'm gonna say is some things need to not be subtle, so they have a reason to watch our show. So
we got the deets.
Exactly.
We got the deets on Copperhead.
But also Copperhead, I mean, I gotta be honest, I don't know a lot about Copperhead. Yeah. He's not one of the biggest villains, at least not to me. Mm-hmm. You know, I'm sure more people are way more familiar with Harvey Dent and all that stuff. So they're gonna play around more with those characters. So seeing Copperhead, which is probably a little more of an obscure villain, is, you know, you gotta drop little hints like that. And if you're paying attention and you look it up, then
you're taking so many liberties with that pure villain that you probably don't want to just be so on the nose of the villain most people wouldn't know, and that you're changing drastically anyway.
Yeah, because obviously she's not sticking around too, at least not for now. So
for the I don't.
But she's the Larissa Diaz version.
Yes.
So. Not the Nathan Prince and all the other ones.
Right.
She's not the Zoe Saldana.
Yeah. She's the Zoe's. Yeah. She definitely looks like her.
I'm sure that was intentional.
Yeah.
Hey, you know what? Do what you got to do to make a job, right? All right. So let's talk about Lovecraft this week because it was the title of the episode and he was sort of a main character, but was very not existent as a character.
He drove the plot, some of the plot.
And he accentuates what I've been kind of saying all along, that there's just this huge... like the corruption in Gotham and the problems that everyone's facing are just so huge that we don't even know who the players are yet. Because we've gone a week thinking, since Dent brought him up last week, that Lovecraft is, Lovecraft's the guy.
Yeah, he's the guy that's doing everything. It's all him.
It's like, no, he was just some scumbag who was involved in
everyone else's things.
Stuff we still don't understand.
Right.
And he did introduce a very crucial part of evidence this past week because he has these files from the Wayne. I wonder if Gordon got any of that stuff.
I don't know. We didn't see that.
Well,
Hopefully he did.
He was at the crime scene before he called anybody. So I'm pretty sure
But that's what I mean. I wonder if the Copperhead character took the stuff
you're right.
that he had about the Wayne and the stocks and everything that was more information for Gordon to find out what was going on.
Because obviously Copperhead wants to get rid of every bit of evidence, including Selina Kyle.
You're right.
So that could be, that makes total sense.
So that could have gone, or he could have seen it, and we'll get more about that later.
Yeah.
But it is crucial evidence that we find that there are bigger players, as you were saying, in this whole grand scheme of Gotham. And there's more to learn. Yeah. Gives them a lot of liberties, I think.
And just because Gordon's at Arkham does not mean he'll continue to investigate it. He will absolutely investigate this further.
Actually, I think it gives him more freedom to investigate it because now he doesn't have to report to anybody.
Yeah, he can just mess with people who are in Arkham that have the information for him.
Or not even outside of Arkham, he can keep investigating.
Oh, absolutely.
So he's not stuck at the office all day.
He's gonna have extra free time.
Exactly.
Yes.
He's working the 9 to 5 now. Well, and it's cool though. I like that they're like just slowly like making us think. Oh, we got it. No.
Yeah.
We got it. No, we don't.
Oh, it's
we got it. No,
Lovecraft.
we don't.
Yeah.
And it's every week. There's more and more about who's behind everything, and I'm excited.
I'm also very excited, and just because once we learn who Lovecraft is, we're like, wow, he's like nobody.
Yeah. When he was talking, I was like, why is he acting so weird?
Like he's literally just a guy who noticed a uptick in a stock.
Well, but he also said someone, it seems like someone must have known something was going to go wrong.
Yeah.
And, if people bought a bunch of stock and, it's like, now who is it that actually, like, figured this out?
Yeah, who's the puppet master, essentially.
Exactly.
We have to wait till
So
January.
he introduced a whole new level of shady to
Yeah.
the show.
Right?
My theory is that it goes beyond, like, it's above the Fish Moonies and the Maronis and the Falcones.
Above all those people.
It's above all that. Like, it's on just a corporate corruption level.
And I keep waiting still for the scene where they go into the Wayne Enterprises room in the boardroom and talk to those people, or because that was hinted at a few weeks ago when we first were starting to get more of the Bruce story. That he met the woman, she was like middle level, and that was an option for them to do this, and then it never happened, and they kind of like sloughed it off.
Hopefully it will. I think it's Lex Luthor.
You think?
I'm kidding.
Already?
No, that would be.
I think it's the $6 million man.
Well, Lex Luthor exists in the DC universe.
I mean, if we're just gonna say random things, I'm just gonna say random.
No, but the idea of
right.
white collar corruption in the DC universe, Lex Luthor would be the over. Okay, then you're aware.
Listen, it's the editor. It's the editor at the Daily Gossip thing. I don't know. I forget what I'm talking about.
All right,
Peter Parker.
got it. There you go.
Whatever that guy's name is.
Wrong franchise.
Yeah.
I'm just making stuff up. If we're gonna go there.
It's Agent Coulson, right?
Yes.
Agent Coulson.
Yes.
I got it. All right. Selina and Bruce are freaking adorable.
They really are.
Aww.
They really are.
I really liked last week when they were just like fighting with the
Budding romance.
It's totally. He was like, he's so in love with her, and it's so cute, and it's like the first era of heartbreak because he feels so bad, like when he's nice to her and then she's mean to him.
Yeah.
But then he tells her off and she's mean to him. Women.
He's like, well, I was right.
Seriously, Bruce, I get where you're coming from because women ruin it.
Aww. Well, she's teaching him a lot, and I thought it was cool to see that happening this episode because he is so naive and so sheltered. Like we talked about this before, she's the complete opposite of him, and there's a clear contrast. And she's teaching him her ways just as much as he's teaching her, like you know,
to be a better person,
right? Well,
trust people and understand, and
that and like
be nice.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, it was cool to see her, you know, basically teach him how to be the Batman he's going to be, like bouncing on the railing and jumping from building to building. Like, what the hell? Yeah. I'm used to him teaching himself that, but seeing Selina Kyle teach him that in Gotham was really interesting.
And do we know
other things?
Was there anything about the relationship with them early on? Ever?
No, particularly no.
Anything that you know?
Not like this. No.
Oh no, because in most of the comics he's already Batman.
They're already adults.
Right. Well, and it's interesting because you think even about the Christopher Nolan Batman movie where Selina Kyle's in it, he like knows who she is before, so they could theoretically hint the fact that they had a past before this point. He knows where she lives. He goes right,
Yeah, that's the beauty of Gotham is they're kind of filling in those gaps for you, whether
or making them up,
or making them up. Like you can believe it if you can believe that's the past or not. You know.
I
choose to believe.
I choose to believe too.
Me too.
I think it's cute.
I like that they're connecting them, like you said, because now we can connect it to what we've seen in the movie.
Yeah.
And when it's making both of them more so for Bruce, I think, because that's really what's more important to us as Gotham. That he's learning things about himself that he didn't know, and he's experiencing things, going down to the flea, as they call it.
Yeah.
A flea market for young kids with no crappy mall music.
Yeah.
That was cute. It was like the
it
mall
was cute.
with crappy music.
Like he came in there scared, and he stood by her because he felt safe with her because she knows the way around that area, and it was a special bond, like you can see, and she's trying to protect him against Ivy, who seems harmless.
Yeah.
And she lied to him about the people being after him so that he would stay with her longer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think they both feel similar about each other. Like they're both drawn to each other because they're so different. And I think Bruce Lil Wayne thinks he's protecting her in a way.
In his weird way, he's like, I'm looking out for her.
Yeah, because he has like a different kind of book smart. So he's like, you have the street smarts, but I have the book smarts.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not going to leave you alone.
He's got the big words and the understanding of how much his pen and watch and all the other things she stole from him are.
Exactly.
The $5,000 Ming Dynasty vase you can get at Chinatown for $5.
And yet he still trusts her.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
They still find sanctuary.
I actually thought
in each other.
I thought that he was gonna make a comment about the little metal box that she took. Like
that's the one that we thought she didn't take, right?
That all the fans said that you guys were all wrong.
We were all
Do you remember I corrected you guys the next week?
Whatever.
Because I said that she took it.
I said she took it too.
Okay.
I
Well,
said
this
no.
side of the table is smarter than that side of the table.
I also said she took it.
We have video evidence.
I know. Yeah, we could just pull it
I stand corrected. Whatever.
It happened quickly, and yes,
Yes.
I thought he was going to mention something about it, but then
Because the way he looked at it and the way they focused on it made me think that it was like something very, and maybe it'll come up that it's something very important to him.
yes,
That it was like his mother's something or
yeah, but she snuck up.
it's where his mom kept all her cocaine. I don't know.
Wow.
Speaking of
Yes.
oh God. Well, she was rich. You never know what they're like. Speaking of bouncing on the railings and stuff, I was reading a quick review about this episode, and they showed a photo of them bouncing on the railings, and then there's this little circle of light coming like through the railings that sort of resembled the bat symbol. And someone pointed out that was kind of an Easter egg. It was like just a little bit of a spotlight, and the railings were the bars were in front of the light enough so that kind of looked like the bat symbol a little bit.
Interesting.
I mean, it could just be totally reading into it, whoever pointed it out, but I thought it was cool if it is true.
Yeah.
And even if it isn't true, you guys should just own up to it. Like, yeah, that was intentional.
I know. Right?
Yeah.
That was Jill in the art department.
Yeah.
So if you
She did
DVR
a great job. She's phenomenal.
Love Jill.
She deserves a bonus, apparently.
Love Jill, you in the art department.
You got
There is
this.
no one Jill in the art department that we know of, but if there is, Jill, you did an awesome job.
Good job.
Thank you for your
That'd be
Easter
amazing
egg.
if I nailed that.
Thank you for your
There's a Jill in the art department on Gotham.
We're gonna get a tweet.
It's like, oh, I think
If I get an angry email this week from somebody, oh well,
Steve is
Nah.
weird.
Better
he just
Ryan
picks
than us.
random names
I
in
know.
random departments.
that's right.
He got right this time.
All right, I think they're gonna keep having a relationship though. I think she's gonna keep showing up now that she knows how to get in the window.
I know that they've kissed.
Oh yes, well she's been hinting at it for 2 weeks.
I know.
I would have been rather disappointed if they didn't kiss this week, and I kind of felt weird about feeling that way.
Yeah, they're like 12. I feel the same way though.
It's
I have
like-
to agree that I was like, oh, they're gonna kiss. They have to kiss. They're
And then
gonna
it's
kiss, right? Or are they gonna kiss? Are they gonna kiss? Oh, they kissed. I guess this is happy.
And you're like, wait, they're like 9 years old.
They're 12.
Are they 12? Okay, they're like 12 years old. I feel weird.
That's probably his first kiss too.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
gotta be
normal.
his first kiss.
Yeah.
That actually happens a lot with like young people that are in film. Like their first kiss is actually like on screen, and they talk about how weird
Like
it is.
Mila
That's-
Kunis and Ashton Kutcher.
Oh, wow.
I was just gonna bring that up. Yes.
I mean, that's not my first thought, but okay, that
That was
works for
mine.
me.
That was mine too.
Because now
Well,
she's having his
little
baby.
baby.
Anyway, we're off track.
Wow.
I all love the
That's-
babies. So yeah, and that's funny though, because there's always that awkwardness, which is truth because they're really awkward and they don't know what to do because it's
Yeah.
their first kiss on film,
Yeah.
which I think is adorable.
Aww.
Aww.
I love it.
All right, let's talk about the meat and potatoes
Yep.
here this week. Alfred Pennyworth.
Man Crush Monday.
Man Crush Monday goes out to
MCM,
Alfred.
hashtag.
All right, Sean Pertwee, welcome to the world. It's so, and I said this before because he was in an episode of The Musketeers that was on BBC America, which is a show I covered on AfterBuzz. And I was like, he was so weird and like artistically odd in this episode because he was a 1 week episode person. And I was like, I can't wait to see him in something totally different. This is something totally different, and it's awesome.
Cool.
Like a boss.
Like a boss.
Like a boss.
I love
really?
that. I love that. I have a workout shirt that says "Like a Boss."
I feel like all the episodes of us, like, kind of being annoyed that he's like a hard ass and he was treating Bruce more like, I don't know, like a student
Yes.
than sort of his child or his, someone he has to protect. It was cool to see it lead up to this episode where he really came out to be the father figure, and he really showed that he cares about Bruce and everything that he does for him is for his safety, and he's sort of softening, which is nice. And
Yeah, the relationship is changing
Yeah.
from what it was in the first couple episodes to what it has been, which I think made this even better. Because
Yeah.
the dynamic shift that they've had made him protecting him like so much cooler.
Yeah, going after everyone to find him.
like you can feel it, and he's such a good actor that when he yelled out Bruce's name in their lawn, that kind of like
Cut ya.
hit me hard. And then when they reunited at the end, I was just
That
like,
hug,
oh.
right? It was like, yes.
On that big Bruce, like I remember thinking, like I can think of like 5 or 6 actors that this would become a joke reel.
Yeah, it wouldn't work.
This would be like unbelievable. But it's like no, this is great.
It's
Yeah.
because he's
He
a
only-
British actor,
yeah, like-
that's why.
Like, dude, he's good and he happens to be British, and he's the son of a doctor.
Yeah.
Doctor Who.
That's the point. Doctor's his name. His
The
name is
third Doctor Who ever.
His name is the Doctor.
What are they on Doctor Who 26? Does it even matter anymore?
I have no clue. I don't
We're not
follow
going to
that.
get into this.
Don't follow that at
Yeah.
They're on
You're the one sitting on the phone booth.
They're on the 14th. They're on the 14th. If you must know, they're on the 14th generation, but there were like 2 of them that don't count. It's a whole thing.
Okay, that's for the Doctor Who podcast.
I've been on that podcast.
Matt Lieberman, sorry, you're on your own. He's the one that hosts over there. All right. So the whole week, this with Alfred and also his new partnership with Bullock starts off, because the episode starts off with Copperhead coming into Wayne Manor and looking for Selina. Finding Selina, but it was cool because there was that awesome shift where she like recognizes her and gets that face, and then Alfred's like, "Oh crap, run!" And then they fight.
He knew. He's such a badass.
Yeah.
Yes.
Ex-military, so he's got to be.
Hell yeah. He can read people like that.
Like how?
Like that.
I get it now.
I get it though. I can. It
I'm
was
still not sure.
Just like
by
that.
the microphone next time.
Still not
Okay.
sure.
And I liked that he was just like a shoot first, because every week I see things happen in the show, and I'm always like, "Why don't you just shoot him? Just shoot him!" Because like when Gordon was in Lovecraft's house and Copperhead came in, I was like, "Just shoot him!" Like as soon as they turned the corner and they had a gun, he would have shot. I would have shot him.
Yeah. Or shoot him in the knee or something so they can't run.
Fire a shot at their foot so they back up. So they
Gordon
stop.
You would think.
Gordon's too much of a Boy Scout for that. Something like that.
Not me.
He'd have to ask questions.
Yeah, he needs to know first.
Think, then shoot. Alfred was like, shoot, then think. Yeah.
All right. So I actually wrote something down and I needed to look. On my notes.
Not even shoot, then think. It's shoot and then find Master
Lil Wayne.
Bruce. Find Master Bruce. No, when we're talking about Alfred, it's Master Bruce.
This is good because we get this information though. Now after the first attack happened, that Bullock finds out all the things that Gordon has been doing behind his back. All the stuff with Harvey Dent, all the stuff with
Selina,
and everything is all out in the open. And I was waiting for him at one point to tell him this week. I thought that when he was questioning Jim about Barbara being gone when they were at the GCPD a couple times, I was like, oh, he's going to tell him. This is a perfect time to tell him. We're honest with you. We're friends now. We're honest. Let's talk. And he didn't both times. And then it came out and he was really mad about it. But like, I think it's going to come up again that he didn't tell him.
Yeah.
Because I feel like at this point, he should trust Bullock. I feel like they've been through enough that it's there.
Yeah, and I think Bullock has seen the other side enough. Where he's like, you know what, maybe I should stand up for more things that are just because they're right. Because there's so much more going wrong than I even know. Like, so much more going wrong than I could see through, like, with the tiny, like, corruption I do.
But also, Bullock even said, like, of course I'll help you. I gotta be crazy. So I feel like maybe Gordon's thinking was, well, if I tell him, I know he's gonna get mad. Even for a moment, he's gonna go crazy, and it might hinder or like, you know, push Gordon back a little bit.
Yeah, and I think Gordon is also just hesitant because I don't think Gordon trusts Bullock all the way. It's like, I don't think he knows everything. He knows I don't know everything Bullock knows. There's no way. I just got here. I don't know everything he knows. He clearly isn't going to tell me everything he knows.
Yeah, there's just too much that Bullock knows about that Gordon doesn't.
Exactly.
That makes him question everything that he does.
Right.
But that is why this week is effective, because Bullock takes Alfred to see Fish Mooney to find out about where they could find her.
Despite their little fallout, because they had a fallout in previous episodes. It wasn't like all lovey-dovey and like sexual as it was in the past.
No,
Yeah.
you needed to threaten her henchman with a knife just to get to her.
Which is awesome.
Oh, so awesome.
Sorry, Butch, but you got put down.
Real quick.
He got Alfreded.
And another little story about the friend they
I'm
had
making that up
in
right
school
now.
who was, they named him Butch because he was actually kind of a sissy.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, we called him Butch because he was making fun of him.
It's actually a put on. It's a joke name.
And how about the way that Alfred worked Fish?
Ugh, loved it. I'm telling you.
Just worked her.
He knew how to get cut to her core. He appealed to her 1 ounce of compassion. He
And
did
honor.
it well. And honor.
And
Which she has.
Yeah.
Which she
She does.
Yeah, it's
for
that-
herself, yeah.
So do you think in any way, shape, or form Fish is behind the Copperhead stuff?
Not even a little.
Because we didn't really, we don't know.
Yeah.
Because last week when they ended the episode, we found out that she was the one that was behind the bombing of the truck that took out all the money that belonged to Falcone. But we don't know who sent the assassin.
It's definitely not Fish.
Yeah, I think this
I
is
wouldn't
all.
think
Do you
so.
have a thought on anyone that's been introduced at this point?
No. I think it's it's everyone above who we know.
Maybe, yeah. Do you think maybe it could be the people that work at Wayne Enterprises?
I was thinking that.
Well, they introduced,
Yeah.
we don't know these characters, but they also talked about 2 characters this week, Saviano and Tursky, who were apparently people that were at the sit down for the family when they talked
Yes.
about the money increase, the 25%, because they're trying to replenish the stock money that got blown up.
Yeah, and I think it was specifically the two people
They
who had
showed them,
lines,
and
yeah.
she later said their names, but they were never.
Yeah, but it was the two
We're not
people
introduced.
to her left. The 2 people to her left that both said, like, hey, I think that's
25% is kind of high.
25% is pretty high, actually.
Yeah.
So those 2, but I think that's all Falcone family business.
That's below what
Yeah, I feel like that's way below the pay grade of what we're dealing with.
I mean, what are these people? Like, do they live on the moon? Are they,
No, we just haven't seen them yet.
Yeah.
They're
They
there.
don't come out.
they're smart. They have people do their work. It
Yeah,
doesn't work for them. And
They're there. They're protected enough that Gordon can't even find them or know their names.
We'll find out next year.
I think.
next year.
Sounds so far away.
Hey, listen. So, if you don't know, because everyone knows, Gotham isn't returning until January at an undetermined date at this point.
That's crazy.
But, and it's the big but, because we like big butts and we don't lie.
Never
If you
lie.
want something to do between now and January, you can go into iTunes and you can rate our show.
Yes.
You can give us a 5-star. You can leave us comments.
Yeah.
You can go back and watch all our old episodes.
Takes 5 minutes or 3 hours if you really
Depending on
wanna
what kind of
watch
mood
them.
you're in.
What
It
you're
could
doing.
take you.
Go back and find the episode where Joyce said that she didn't steal the box, and we said she did, and then tell us about it.
There's so
Go
many
back-
different
Why?
things you could do.
Why
Go
you
back,
gotta do that to
Go
me,
back
bro?
to the episode where I couldn't speak.
Go back
That's
to
a
the
really
episode
good
where I
one.
talked
That's-
about Batgirl. How about that one?
Yes. Go back to 1, listen to it again, and then let us know we were wrong again. We're all right.
We're learning and developing just like everyone else. We're toddlers, okay? But anyway, thank you for tuning in. Check us out on iTunes. That is all.
Yes.
Yes. Thank you.
I love the in unison yes. Like like you can even plan that. Yes.
We're on top of it.
Yeah. It's not our first rodeo.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm on top of a chair. Monty, what are you on top
Why are
of?
you such a hater? Wow. Why are you such a hater?
Because the player's gotta play. All right.
And now back from our commercial break.
Commercial interruptions, more like it. All right. I have so much that I wrote down this week, and it's just like a blur of crappy handwriting and ink.
That's mine
There's
too.
a lot
that's
went on.
mine too.
He's
A
not
lot
lying.
went on this episode. I mean, this was the most, I feel like, action-packed episode we've had in a while. It was definitely entertaining. There was always something going on. There wasn't really a lull, so I don't blame you
Wait,
for
I
taking
feel
tons of
like-
notes.
One thing that is important to note is Poison Ivy returned.
Yes.
Yay! And she was adorable.
And her mom slit her wrists. We didn't know that.
So she's living at the Flea, and she now has met Bruce Wayne as well, and knows that everything. And I like when she's like, "Who are you?" And Selina Kyle's like shaking her head, like, "Don't tell her, don't tell her." because I'm sure that Selina Kyle would know about
Yeah.
the whole implication of her father and the murders.
Yeah.
And all that.
I mean, she's everywhere.
Well, and Bruce knows that as well, right? Because he's all the case files.
Yeah, it was well, and it was a very public case.
I mean, he even asked her, "You're Mario Pepper's daughter."
Yeah.
So he's told. I mean, he does so much investigating on his own. He must read all about that stuff.
Yeah.
He knows.
He knows.
He knows.
They're up to date.
He I kind of liked him in his like cool little flea outfit. his trendy new look, the leather jacket and all that. But so when I was talking before about the fact of who's behind the assassination, I'm curious to know, because when they go to speak to Clyde, who's the fence that buys stuff from the kids who steal things, he took them captive. And it seemed like a weird thing to do unless he was told to take them captive by someone. And the only reason I said that is because Fish Mooney said, "Hey, I'm going to make some phone calls to find out information for you." She could have been very likely the one that said, "Hey, if this girl comes in, hold her."
Yeah, because she knew who Selina's fence was. That's a good point. But could they possibly have figured out where the kids would be and maybe like talk to Clyde before they showed up?
That's what
I mean, she could very likely have said, "Hey, this is her fence, go here." And that could have been the end of it, and somebody else could have went to them and said, "Listen, if this girl shows up, she's a street person." Could have went to all of them, for all we know.
And
but it just seemed too easy.
But I think Copperhead seems good enough that it might have been completely unrelated. Not to mention, if Fish Mooney makes one phone call about one person, and then it may or may not have been. If Fish Mooney makes one phone call about one street kid, that probably gets mentioned a lot. Because, as she said, the streets talk. But also,
she knows everything about.
But for Fish Mooney to be involved with a street kid would probably raise enough of a flag that everyone's just going to kind of talk about that amongst themselves. Like, why is Fish Mooney interested in Selina Kyle? That's weird.
That's true.
So
That's
weird.
Hold on, before we have lunch, I just need to tell you this thing. Fish Mooney wants to know about Selina Kyle.
Before we have lunch.
That's weird.
Listen, Jill in the art department, before you put that Batman sign up, did you know that Selina Kyle and Fish Mooney are connected?
Weird, right? Weird, right?
Who knew?
Hey, woman who may or may not be an assassin, did you know that Selina Kyle and Fish Mooney?
Yes.
I'm just...
Well, yeah, and that's just why there was some like holes in it that seemed weird to me, because why would she just go there? How did it work out that they knew to bring her in?
I think
it's something like that, I think.
I think it has to do like what Steve said. It's people above what we already know that are kind of just handling this. I don't think Fish is behind it. I think it's somebody from Wayne Enterprises because they didn't do anything to Bruce, to Lil Wayne. She was like, "You're not part of this deal. Like, no one wanted to hurt him. It was something else." And I think they're just trying to separate the two because they probably fear that if Bruce and Selina keep developing this relationship, he's gonna find out the truth about Wayne Enterprises.
Yeah.
So.
Plus, I also think Fish Mooney's too involved in her own plans to really get her hands into this. I mean,
she's like, ain't nobody got time.
She's trying to figure out how to continue to mess with Falcone, and she's also freaking out because Falcone could possibly be getting closer to figuring out who messed with his money. So she has a lot on her plate, I feel, to really get involved with the kids.
She probably made 2 phone calls.
And this week, we see that Falcone brought Penguin in for questioning, but he brought him in the hard way.
Oh, the black bag way.
Yeah, the black bag way, which seems sort of silly because he feels now he doesn't trust the Penguin. But I want to know, because he mentions that there could be a mole in the group, which we know Penguin knows that it's Liza, and he doesn't have proof yet, though. So how long do you think until it actually comes out that it's Liza? Do you think he holds on to that information to get information from Liza?
Absolutely.
Or does it come out sooner rather than later because he's afraid for his life?
No, he's gonna hold on to that chip for a while, because right now that's because up before Liza, all the chip that he had was that he knew what was going on in Fish Mooney's world up until he left.
Well, now he also has Maroni's world.
He had been gone long enough that she's the only thing. I think he's gonna try to use her as a mole into Fish Mooney's world. It's like last time you met with her, what did she talk about? What has she been talking about? Like, what's the mood there?
Yeah.
Like, he's gonna use her both ways.
Yeah.
I think he'll draw it out, too.
That's what she said.
I didn't even try with that
I
one.
said, oh yeah.
That's what Ryan said.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
excellent.
I think that was my microphone.
That was us getting yelled at by the microphones. Tone it down, guys.
Yeah.
PG show.
But yeah, I think he's gonna draw it out too. I think he wants to get information from her as well, and also kind of torture her doing just that for as long as possible.
When you could tell when she walked in the room, she had that awkward, like, I'll come back. I'm out of here.
I feel like, but that's who the Penguin is. Like, he'll do anything to really get into your head, and he's not just going to let this whole thing die. Like, he's definitely going to play with it as long as possible.
He has to have a bigger plan, definitely.
Oh, he totally
Because I don't think he's scared. I don't think he was scared walking out of that meeting with Falcone.
No.
I don't think he was scared.
At this point, I don't think he is either. But you got to wonder how much pressure Falcone is going to start putting on him. Because if he feels a little unsure about the relationship and things that are happening, especially with that much money involved, does he start, putting that extra pressure, which makes Penguin talk sooner rather than later?
I think Penguin did a good job planting the seed of Falcone really start suspecting Mooney. I mean, it seemed like the way Mooney was talking to Cobblepot, he was like already aware of what Mooney's capable of. He already knows that she can be conniving and manipulative.
Right, and he doesn't name drop. He just says, who do we already know that
exactly
does this?
But he clearly knows his team. He knows who works for him. He knows how they work. And I don't think, I forgot where I was going with this, but crap. That's just part of what I was going to say.
Which is, he's planting the seed
for
the fact that if it comes out later and he divulges the information, then great, the seed's already there. Or if Falcone goes and finds out on his own, oh, remember when I said before that it could have been this? Look, you found it. And he's then not getting his hands dirty saying he knew the information for months or weeks or...
Yeah.
And he's also going to try to find proof specifically about the blowing up of the money.
I actually thought that he was going to find some paper in her purse when he was going through her purse and when he was in her room previously, and like just something about the information she had.
Yeah.
Too soon.
It's way too soon.
Yeah.
They're going to stretch that out for a long time. Because Liza's literally now stuck between them. Because she was about to drop fish.
And she's scared. She was scared before, so I think she'll kind of do what anyone tells her at this point.
Well, she's stuck pretty much between Falcone, Fish Mooney, and Penguin. That she's literally nothing to do except like keep making him tea.
And clearly lilacs are not enough.
No.
Yeah.
All right. Do you think so? I was a little disappointed this week when I found out that Harvey Dent is the reason that all this happened, because he had leaked this information and wasn't supposed to leak any names, but then he gave out Gordon's name. Does that make him less trustworthy?
Yes,
totally.
But it fits his character.
It does.
He's
wishy-washy.
He's wishy-washy. He's duplicitous.
He's two-faced.
I was gonna say. Why would I say that? Or
the show's doing enough of that.
Duplicitous and wishy-washy seem like good words for that. Why would I say two-faced?
It's not, yeah.
What
connection is that?
There's some multiplicity in him.
Oh, Ryan.
Do you get the doubleness of that reference?
Yes, I do.
You know why?
Yes, I do.
Why? Who started multiplicity?
Batman.
Which one?
the
original Batman.
Yes. Well, the second original Batman.
Whatever, yeah. For those of you that missed everything, Multiplicity was a movie that also had the same guy that played Batman.
Birdman. He was also Birdman. I haven't seen it yet.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
I heard it's good.
Michael Keaton.
Michael Keaton.
So anyway.
Wow, you took us on this one.
Yeah.
It's usually,
welcome to the roller coaster, guys.
Usually me.
Another commercial interruption.
All right, back to Harvey Dent and trustworthiness.
Yes.
Yeah. I was going to say he probably flipped a coin to decide if he should really reveal Gordon's
And I wish they would have
name.
showed that. That would have been great. Should I tell
No,
them?
because that would be so comical. I feel like that would be so, like, cartoony.
Yeah.
Well, and there was, like, listening to his character talk, there was a difference about his character. He's very well-spoken, and he sounds very educated and very high class. So you almost wonder if the way they're playing him is someone who isn't so street, but more from the upper level of Gotham.
Like, he kind of goes by the books. Like, he
well,
kind
no,
of...
because we get
he
there.
might be from that level of corruption.
Yeah.
In the aspect of
That
he knows things.
And he knows how to deal with those people. And he knows...
Well, because he says, I object, even in the way he just was talking to the mayor.
Right.
Like, I still respect you in your position.
Yeah. It's like they knew something Gordon didn't know together. Definitely.
He's leaving Gordon out in the dark.
Poor Gordon.
Literally.
He's
and
the scapegoat.
Us, the audience, out in the dark. Because I'm pretty sure all the people involved, we haven't seen them yet.
Any of them.
No, haven't even heard their names yet.
Yeah.
So we're literally just like, well, but they're all just up there.
They're like the Greek gods up in the clouds,
just like,
talking about us poor humans, or what? The
is
Titans
this?
up there.
But
That's what I feel like. I feel like the scene in Remember the Titans where they're like in the God world looking down on Earth. Like those are the people that are running Gotham that we don't even know or can see. And we all just think it's these people out here chasing each other around.
Oh, yes.
That's the feeling I get.
They must get a big laugh at everything Gordon's been doing.
Well, the gods have a sense of humor, right? Is that what they say? So Gordon takes the fall this week for killing Lovecraft, even though he didn't. And now he's sentenced to work at Arkham. That's
going to be so interesting. I can't wait to see that. I mean, I was going to say this in my predictions, but I feel like this is a terrible demotion for him because
it's an amazing opportunity for the show and for Gordon to learn things.
Exactly, but I also think he's going to thrive in Arkham. I think he's really going to find his niche there, not intentionally, like he's not going to want to be there, but he's going to find that maybe he can make it better and
have
maybe
an influence.
Exactly. Like who was it that is in charge of Arkham? Is it Maroney or I think it's Maroney, right?
Maroney has a bigger stake than he had, but it's Maroney and Falcone are both in on the Arkham project.
Okay.
But Maroney got a bigger seat at that table.
So maybe he can sort of shift the way things are going to go once
or get
he's
information
in Arkham.
about all of them.
Yeah.
It's a way for him to hear things.
And all the bad stuff that's gonna come in and out of Arkham, he's gonna be the only one there to stop it.
Yeah.
And we saw flashes from next year. We saw flashes from next year where there seems to be a prison riot, which I'm all about.
I'm so excited.
Yeah,
it's gonna be cool.
And a Firefly character.
Oh yes, Marona Baccarin. I think I'm saying her name wrong, but she was in Firefly, and how nice of her for Fox to bring her back.
Yes. Also,
Thanks, Fox. We appreciate ruining her career and bringing her back.
Marina Baccarin.
Also, I'm excited. Everyone's just gonna play Arkham Asylum, right? That's all Gordon needs to do.
I'm still in Arkham City.
Whoa, tone it down a level.
My bad.
All right, so is there anything else that you guys think we need to talk about for this week's episode of the Gotham Lovecraft?
A tiny piece of trivia that can now exist in this podcast. Gordon's badge number is 231611. For those of you who are great with numbers and think there might be something in there.
All you conspiracy theorists, work that out.
23, 16, 11. 11 could be 2011, but then 23 and 16, neither is a month. So that's where I'm done. I'm done. I just remembered the numbers.
That'd be cool if it meant something.
Yes.
Yeah.
And also, apparently they just ate dinner with a dead Banyan at that table.
Oh, yeah.
The sit down.
I loved that scene. I thought that was awesome. Falcone needed to do something like that to show that I'm still the boss, especially to Fish. It was the first time I thought Fish was nervous and scared, and I love that scene. And that whole thing of having dinner with somebody dead reminded me of The Following, the season 2 of The Following. They're always eating dinner with a dead person.
And what's funnier is Falcone was sitting the closest to the dead person, and he seemed the least bothered by it.
Of course.
He knew it was there,
He was going to kill the guy anyway. He just decided to kill him at the dinner table.
I was just thinking about...
As a little threat to anyone else.
I was just thinking about, the sanitary reasons.
Right, like where did his brains go?
Soup.
Could somebody just dispose of this body before we eat?
This kidney is delicious. Where's it from?
They're hardcore like that.
A little Hannibal. Having dinner with it in the orchard.
Human tongue stew.
Yuck, you guys are gross. All right, so everyone, thank you for tuning in. We need now to do one thing very important. Talk about our AfterBuzz TV predictions.
And now, your AfterBuzz TV predictions.
Spooky.
I know. I just need to let it play out a minute. Okay, I like the music. It's my favorite part. So Gordon is at Arkham. We know that. You think he's gonna thrive there?
I think he's definitely gonna thrive there.
Barbara's probably out of the scene for a little while. I see cheers from Monse. For those of you who are listening to us, you can't see her.
Yeah.
She's cheering quietly to herself.
As I'm sure most of you guys are cheering too, knowing that Barbara won't come back for a little bit, maybe, hopefully.
Only because she's cheating on Gordon.
Yeah. Go away, Barbara.
Go away, Barbara.
Nobody likes you except Ryan.
Well, Monse, then that means you get to go first.
It's great. I'm ready.
Go.
I agree. I think Gordon will thrive in Arkham, and I think we're gonna see. I think this is where he starts to build a darker side because he's gonna see all of these criminals. It really gives the opportunity for the show to take so many different turns with all these people that we're gonna meet. But I think this is where he starts to get a little darker and start to realize how he has to play the game in order to survive in Gotham. And I'm gonna stay with my prediction from last week. I think Liza will betray Fish Mooney.
Ooh.
Out of fear.
Out of fear.
I agree with that.
And out of love for Maroni.
Falcone.
Do you think she'll do it in a way?
Oh, Falcone, sorry, yeah.
Do you think she'll do it in a way? Do you think she'll do it in a way to hurt Penguin?
No, I actually don't think she'll do it to hurt Penguin. I think Penguin is just going to try and manipulate her and try and control her a little bit, but it's going to come down to fear against Fish and love for Falcone.
And she'll go with the love side and protect Falcone and so on.
She'll Falcone protect her from everything.
Yeah.
But before Penguin has gotten in deep enough that,
Exactly.
that he's even worth mentioning.
Right. I actually think Liza might tell Falcone before Penguin tells him anything. Like kind of just come clean, and that way she is protected because he will protect her if she were to come clean.
Right on.
So
Unless he gets really mad first.
And then she's for dinner.
But I don't think she's capable of really doing anything to Fish. Like I don't think she's capable of telling or getting Fish in trouble.
But I think the fact that just saying, hey, I've been working for Fish and telling her information is enough to know that Fish has put someone in a position to betray Falcone and try to take over. Because they already have suspected that was going to happen. So I think that I agree that if she tells, it doesn't matter that she tells him anything. Just that I work for Fish. That's it. That's all you need to say. And that stirs the pot enough.
Yeah, and I think Penguin could have a reason why she'll betray Fish. I think Penguin might install it in her head that Fish will hurt her, will kill her if she doesn't do anything about it.
And Falcone will protect her.
Yes.
Because he cares about her.
Right. So it's fear versus love.
Wow.
Drops mic. No. Till next year.
Steve Kauffman?
I think we're not going to see Selina Kyle for a minute. I know, right? I'm sad about that too, but I think Selina Kyle's just.
It was a vanishing end for her.
Yeah, like she's gonna be back at the Flea. She's gonna steal more watches
with Ivy.
With Poison Ivy, and then we're not gonna see her until we get to the unraveling where there might actually be a case and a need for her to ID an actual killer. I think all.
Did you guys? I don't know if you talked about it because I wasn't here. I'm sorry. The drawing, the picture.
I didn't look like
it. But to me, it looked like Butch. Of all the characters that we have met, that's who I think it looks the most like.
But the person we saw in the pilot doesn't look like Butch. Right. Like body-wise. Like I don't think that's...
Yeah.
So you have to...
But just because they drew one person and had a different person in the show doesn't mean that they couldn't be the same person.
Yeah, I know.
So
that's an interesting... also,
could be. I don't know.
Also, I feel Gordon's going to do a really good job over at Arkham. And he's going to... uncover all the Wellzyme stuff that's going to happen at Arkham. They're going to try to test Wellzyme on the patients and
all the chemicals they're going to start making.
Yeah, and then, so excited.
And then get the I forget what it's called that the Joker uses. Also, Fish is going to take over by the end of the season.
I think one of my predictions is Fish is going to try to make a move here in the next couple episodes.
Because she's siphoning enough power from Falcone that it's just about due. And I just wrote here Lex Luthor with a question mark.
Maybe
if we're talking about...
Hey, Jill in the art department, make it happen.
Or at least have, like, Luthor Corp somewhere.
Hey, guys, that's our show. Thank you for tuning in. On that note, we're getting out of here. Monse, tell the fans where they can find out more about you.
You guys can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Monse Bolanos, MonseBolanos. Have a great Thanksgiving.
Joyce?
You guys can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Joyce Ajouri. That's Jajouri. And on the Sunday Night Walking Dead podcast.
Is that your walker?
That's zombie for Steve Kauffman.
Yes.
I'm at Steve Kauffman on Twitter. That's KAUFMANN. I'm on the Modern Family After Show, which I believe will run at least 3 more weeks in December, so you can catch me on that.
Well, all right. And as always, you can find me at RyanHooks92 on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and Snapchat. Happy Thanksgiving, everyone. We will see you next year.
Bye.
Bye.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.